Sometimes it's very hard to keep your sanity in a crazy world. So, in a crazy world that gets harder as you get older, because as you get older, you've been through more trials and tribulations. Maybe you have lost family members or lovers to death. Maybe you have suffered illness. Maybe you have suffered failure financially, emotionally, been through a divorce, been fired. As you get older, you've been through more things. And that's why it is harder to keep your sanity as you keep pushing forward. Coconut's good to see you. Coconuts may have lost some money in the stock market this week. So how do you keep your sanity? I've been through that. Well, we're going to talk about tonight, look, the self-care of your mental health. Okay, it's tied into your physical health. But the number one thing I want to start with is a healthy sleep cycle. The proper amount of sleep determines a huge level of your mental health. Not enough sleep, and your mind, your brain cannot repair itself and flush the toxins. Too much sleep could also be negative to your mental health. The average adult should get 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night. If you're getting less than 4 hours of sleep, you're hurting yourself. If you're sleeping more than 9 hours, you're hurting yourself. You say, well, I know some famous, successful businessmen and women that sleep 3 hours. Well, just because someone makes money does not mean they have sanity. I think we saw that last year. Okay. So, and just because you have an illness or you're old does not mean you should sleep all day. That's why seniors, when they go into assisted living, one of the major things they do is put them on a routine schedule. Your routine, how you structure your sleep cycle, having a good routine at night, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth, getting clean sheets, getting clean washed. This will help you go to sleep. Put in some essential oils, some cologne in your nostril. Coconut says there's a big snowstorm hitting tomorrow. It's a big disaster. That's why I left New Jersey and came to Florida. And what I could tell you is I never want to experience cold because I believe cold weather has a negative effect on your mental health and your sanity. How? Because you're not outdoors as much. You don't have vitamin D. Vitamin D is huge for your well-being physically and mentally. And there's something to be said when all you see is clouds, darkness, cold, bitter weather. That is not good for your sanity. It's not. Everyone lied to you when they said 4 seasons is good. I had some psychopath, she certainly wasn't sane, said she was going to move to Minnesota because she thought it was great for boating and 4 seasons. She likes the cold weather. She going to lose her mind. Yeah, she going to be totally insane in the membrane, okay, like cypress salt. What I can tell you is this, guys, they all lied to you because they were scared to downsize. They were scared to get rid of their storage unit. And so what happened is they got a storage unit in Massachusetts, okay? What happens is they move to Minnesota. What happens is they get trapped, okay? And what I can tell you is I have compassion because one thing that can make you lose your sanity is, look, someone talks rough like me. And I totally understand that because I'm intense. And that's what I always tell you guys, I don't want to hurt you. But at the same time, I have to be myself. So everyone's an adult here. All my videos are marked for adults. I recognize that some people have a profile for an adult, but they're either an insane adult or a totally mentally disturbed adolescent. And I am not responsible for them. Why? How do you keep your sanity? You are not responsible for everyone. You're not responsible at a certain age for your children. You're not responsible at a certain age for your coworkers. You're not responsible at a certain age for the masses of society. You know, focusing back on yourself, not in a selfish way, but in a way where you're deploying your energy to things you can control. The only person you can control in this world is yourself. So why do people lose their sanity? Because you're trying to control your wife, you're trying to control your husband, you're trying to control your kids, you're trying to control your boss. You're trying to control your dog. You know, I had a guy work at Starbucks. I think he was a gay guy, nice guy. I'm for equal rights. Pluto, $3 super chat. Keep your sanity, brother. Take a shower every night, even when you're living in a car. I practice what I preach. I didn't always in the beginning. Take a shower at night, brush your teeth, floss your teeth, brush your tongue, put on some clean clothes every night, and then go to sleep. Don't go more than 2 weeks without washing your bed sheets. If you do that, you're going to sleep better. Get in a good routine. Wake up early, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. the latest. Get out of bed. Get going to Starbucks. Thank you, Pluto. Keep pushing forward. Shout to you and Coconuts. I appreciate you both. Coconuts, don't worry, man. Hang in there. It's going to get better. I told you to come to Florida 2 months ago. You didn't listen to me, but you're a good man, and the Lord will bless you. Pluto, I love you. Hang in there. I thought about you today, Pluto, because Pluto lost his mother last year. And I don't mean to bring up painful things, but I think about you because I know that'll be a crucial, another milestone in my life when I lose my mother, if I'm still alive when my mother dies. It's emotionally hurtful. I still think about my dog and get sad, and you can lose your sanity off an emotional, painful loss. So how do we persevere? Well, we got to self-care. We got to get sleep, and we got to just keep fighting one day at a time. It is harder as you get older because you go through more loss. But you keep moving. Pluto, brother, I shower every night. There you go. I didn't in the beginning. Self-care all day. That's my life, brother. Amen. Well, if you got no job, if you're retired, if you're a trader, if you're a janitor, whatever you are, even if you're disabled, you need to remember that self-care is your full-time job for the rest of your life. And if you can't take care of yourself, you're going to lose your sanity because you're going to have someone else taking care of you. And the last thing you want to lose is your independence. But it will be the first thing you lose if you don't take care of yourself well. So good job, brother. So what are we talking about? We're talking about number one thing to keep your sanity is a healthy sleep cycle. 6 to 8 hours per night, no less than 4, no more than 9. What's the next thing we're talking about? We're talking about the acknowledgement of life is emotionally damaging, especially when we lose loved ones, family, friends, or lovers, or pets. It's very hard. Life is very damaging when we live in an area that has bad weather because we're not outside, we're not getting vitamin D, we're not getting fresh air, and it's emotionally damaging to be indoors and to not have hope for 6 to 8 months out of the year. You say, oh, I'm going to move to Florida, and then springtime comes, then summer comes. And they say, well, it's not that bad. I love the 4 seasons. And then before you know it, you get into this algorithm, okay, where you buy high and you sell low. Okay, you have gotten into the algorithm of disaster. Hal, what's up, brother? Blessings, Sam's blessings to you also. Today is my mother's 71st birthday and also 21 years since I lost one of my best friends. Sorry to hear that. Just shows how life has a balance, keeping my sanity today. It's not easy. Well, one is happy birthday and love to your mother. You are blessed to still have your mother alive like I am. No mother is perfect, including mine. But look, if you've overall been loved by your mother, you're blessed. And if you had her in your life for a certain point, you're blessed. A lot of people lose their parents or children at a young age, and it's very tough. They never get over it. My grandmother lost her son, one of her sons, at a young age, and everyone always told me like she was never the same after that. I don't think I don't think I'm the same after I lost my dog. I was like my child, for 10 years. So, look, I don't think we're ever the same. A lot of times to keep your sanity, you have to accept with 2 asterisks for all you psychopaths who only socialize online. Accept that life does change, and that's hard. Why? Because a lot of people lose their sanity trying to cling to the past. And in hopes of doing that, they cause more stress. See, the reality is sanity is mitigating your stress. Too much stress will make anyone go insane. Doesn't matter who we are. There are some that are stronger mentally than others. I have compassion on the weak mind. I don't look down on them. I have been broken, so I don't say I have the strongest mind ever. Anyone can be broken. But I can't be around people that are always broken. I can't be around people that are very weak-minded where they're never They're always apathetic. They're always like babies. I'm not that type of person. I'm not a special needs teacher. I respect special needs teacher. I respect those people. I'm not good at that because it'll cause me to go insane. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, I can't do that. I can't. I need a certain amount of time. One is, you guys know I'm a loner. Number one. Number two is that energy. I had a mentally retarded cousin. Like, I love her. She was great, positive. But like, same thing. Like, I can only be around that energy so long. It's like, it's just hurtful. And it's nothing against her. I'm speaking honestly. It's like, and she had loving family members, but she was in a home. She thrived in a home, like an assisted living home. Um, I don't know, man. I think if you're around the insane, man, you go insane. I think that, and again, there's a difference between insane and a mental issue. Uh, you know, you gotta, there's no exact science to what I'm saying here, but I'm sharing some general things. Like, I could be around family members that are disabled. Some of that's because of a mental issue, and it'd be a disaster. I worked with a guy parked in a handicap spot, and he basically told me he has some type of mental disability. And every time we had to do some type of an emergency with him, it was a disaster. I said, get me the fuck away, guys. So look, this is the bottom line, is truth, is that you got to protect your peace, protect your space, okay? Sometimes you're going to have to work with some people that are insane, to a certain level. Now, I don't judge them, but this is the reality of life. You can't blow your cool. See, you need all your mental capacity to get through your job, to get through your life. That's stress. It's like, you don't want to spend your stress fighting at home. You don't want to spend your stress levels fighting your inner circle. Your stress is meant to be fight to go to work, to do something productive, to go to the gym, to do your laundry, to self-care. Because, you have to do that, okay? You know what I mean? So it's like, you don't have to go home to anyone, okay? Now again, some people don't want to go home to anyone, and then they're lonely, they're in a parking lot like me, like, oh, someone, I want to be your friend, I want to be your friend. Guys, no. Pluto. Message to the psychopaths that put thumbs down and hate. We're so over that, guys. We already discovered that the thumbs up, thumbs down don't mean shit. Okay, it's all about views, members, and super chats as far as financial. As far as an insecure person, yeah, they may get destroyed. And look, being a YouTuber will destroy your mental health. If you can't DoorDash, if you can't hold down a regular job, if you try to be a YouTuber, I've seen it time and time again. YouTube will bring you to your mental knees. You'll change your profile, you'll change your avatar, you'll shut down your channel, then you'll make your channel public again, then you go private again, you go public again, private again, and before you know it, you're in an algorithm, okay, of buy high, sell low. That's the wrong algorithm, okay? And then before you know it, guys, you lost your privacy and your sanity for pennies on the dollar trying to be a YouTuber. Guys, YouTube can be high risk, low reward. Even now, I always evaluate this. And man, I'm at this point. I mean, I'm making it work because it's working. But the bottom line is, look, let the psychopaths have one joy in life. That is creating several profiles, okay? And they can create a profile, but they can't be an online marketer. They can't call people and be tech support. They're a bullshit artist. So let them create several profiles and let them give the thumbs down. Why? They got to have something to do. You don't want these people in Starbucks. Why? If they have to make your coffee, it's going to be a disaster. You don't want them working at Planet Fitness. Why? If they have to wipe down your sheen, it's going to be a disaster. They need to be online, having some power, and their power is the thumbs down, okay? Let them have something. I'm a fair guy, okay? Let the psychopaths have some joy in life. Okay. All right, let's continue. He goes, self-care, self-control. You're hitting them all. One day at a time. Yes, time management. You got it. Get rid of your storage unit. Well, they ain't like that one, Pluto. They were with you because everything sounded nice until you got to get rid of your storage unit. They don't want to hear that? Okay, I'll tell you right now, guys. A storage unit will make you... This is what I want to tell you tonight. I want you to think about anyone in your life that you know that has a storage unit that isn't moving within the next 90 days and shutting their storage unit down. I guarantee you they have some type of mental issue. Why? Because they can't let go. They can't focus. They cling to the past. Life is overwhelming and stressful. I understand it. I have empathy. I'm living in a car. I've made a lot of mistakes in life. I'm not perfect, But I am sharing this observation because I've seen it in my family, I've seen it in people online, I've seen people I know in real life. It's my opinion. It's my channel. If you don't like it, upload every day. You won't, because it'll cause you to lose your sanity, which I totally understand. YouTube has been one of the most mentally challenging things for me in my life. Okay. But that's why I did it after I established a career, after I already kind of figured out, and I was willing to take a little bit of a shot. Okay. Because it's a shot, guys. It's a shot in the dark. I'm in the dark. Okay. Broadcasting live. Okay. So I broadcast every day, guys. Okay. Look, you want to create a YouTube channel? Go for it. Let's see what happens. Get rid of your storage units, and maybe, just maybe, you will no longer be a psychopath. Well, again, I doubt it. Well, I don't want to say I doubt it. That's wrong. I apologize. Look, there are some people that have mental issues that they can't control. I don't judge that. But everyone has a level of control, right? It's like, so I don't know. Maybe their capacity is I got to have at least one storage unit and be in an apartment or be in a whatever. That's up to them. But look, wherever there's abuse, there's an enabler. Okay, wherever there's a storage unit, there's someone else helping them pay for it, whether it's a family member or subsidized government. So what I could tell you is, I'm not trying to hurt people by telling them to get rid of the storage unit. I'm trying to help them. I would increase their cash flow by $200 a month. They would get rid of stuff they don't use. It would be a win. It would be a financial stimulus. It would be an emotional stimulus. But getting from A to B is what causes the insanity. Because if you ever try to get someone to throw out stuff that is perfectly good and they don't use, but they think they may use, it will be a mental insane asylum. And I understand, I have empathy because I struggled myself in throwing stuff out. Eventually, what I did was I got intense. I'm a little bit strong mentally. I got hot sauce intense, and I threw everything out. Okay. Now, some people won't do that. Some people don't live in their car with hot sauce in their passenger seat. Everyone's different. Okay. So I cannot speak for everyone's plight. There's some people that they do videos about storage wars, about buying storage units, selling them. I don't know. So, everyone's different. But look, guys, you got to get the right sleep. You got to accept things change. Even if you're a minimalist, it doesn't mean you're going to keep your sanity. It just means it's less stress. Because, guys, every day I feel sometimes I'm barely holding on. And I think I'm holding on relatively well, but I feel the pull of just like breaking down. I don't know why. It's like, maybe because I'm living this odd life, but when I think about going back to the regular life, man, I get bored out of my fucking mind, man. It's like, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. So I'm caught in this fucking paradigm. It's like a lot of people get caught in South Carolina. They want to get out of the Northeast, but they're too damn lazy to come all the way to Florida, so they settle in South Carolina. And now it's like, it may not be a blizzard this weekend in South Carolina, but it's going to rain, it's going to be cold, and it's not tropical paradise. So it's like, guys, you got to commit, okay, to go another 6 hours south to Florida, okay, if you want to change your life. Okay, good job. Pluto, Hal. Oh, no, oh, yeah, all right. Hal, I was thinking about you, brother, today. I wanted to let you know, if you ever wanted to move to California, I can hook you up with a job that pays $25 an hour, 4 days a week, 12-hour shifts. Let me know, B. There you go, guys. California, a lot of taxes, but a high-paying job. So it all evens out for most people. But like I say, guys, thank you, thank you, Pluto, for being very generous. You're a very generous soul. God bless you. God bless all my givers out there. There's a lot of people that are very positive, very much givers. I always tell you, never change yourself, but obviously make sure you take care of yourself too. Because when you're a giver, you can get taken advantage of, and then you go insane, because then you're like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. And it's tough, man. It's like, I'll tell you, man, if you can keep your sanity, if you can keep focusing on self-care, if you can keep a job, if you can get, you're doing a lot in life. You're doing a lot. Okay. So, like, you don't have to be Elon Musk, guys, because I think Elon Musk may be a little bit insane. Okay. So, it's like, look, guys, yeah, we got the Tesla, but, we had the Prius too. So I don't know. But Elon's good. Elon does some good stuff. I'm not mad at him. But what we're talking about, guys, is look, I mean, at a certain point, I remember Elon Musk's interview with Joe Rogan and say he can't stop his brain from streaming. He's always thinking. Now, I think he could work out a little bit more. I think he may be overloaded on the work. However, he accomplishes a lot of great things. So I don't want to say that he's wrong for it. He's obviously highly productive, highly intelligent. You know, we're all searching for a level of balance, but at the same time, getting extreme gets stuff done. So it's tough. Hal, my man, I super appreciate that. So I'll love, he's talking to Pluto now because Pluto extends some love. Damn, that shit hit hard. I will definitely keep that in mind. I'm starting from scratch. I am at the point where I want to get up and leave, Pluto. Well, this is what I would tell anyone. When you don't have a job, don't move. Why? Because the stress of not having a job and the stress of moving to a new city is so overwhelming. I think it'd be very challenging, harder than it needs to be. Now, you know, and, you know, again, like if someone says, yeah, I'll give you a job if you move across the country, I still wouldn't recommend it. Here's why. Because I don't think you want to, I don't think you want to come off the bench and start throwing up threes. Now, you can do it. There's exceptions. There's Reggie Miller. There's Craig Hodges. There's Glenn Rice. There's some people like good guys. They get in the game, they shooting threes. Steph Curry. But that's the exception. The average is, guys, you got to warm up, hit some layups, okay? Get some consistency going in your life, and then take on the harder task. That's my philosophy. Doesn't mean my philosophy is always right. Why? Because, again, there's exceptions to every rule. So there's no exact science to life, but there is science, there is data, there is knowledge, there is studying and trying to take a calculated risk, not an insane risk. See, when you take an insane risk and you put like all your net worth into Bitcoin, like you may win. But I think it develops an unhealthy pattern that very few are going to make a million, get out of the market at the right time, never take too high a risk and lose it all again. So I'm not saying there aren't people like that, but I'm saying I'd rather you develop good habits, health habits, sleeping habits, eating habits, relationship habits, work habits, managing your money habits, because the chances are we're in the average pool. And I believe that if you are above average, you'll figure it out, but still be mindful of these things. Ultimately, everyone gets to determine as an adult, if you do what you need to do, how you want to live. So, these are just my opinions. Pluto, anytime, brother. They hire all year round. So anytime you feel you want to move, I'll do my best to help you out, brother. We are all in the same boat. Well, it's true, giving a job to someone's tough. Now, Hal's obviously good people from online. I got nothing but love for him and respect. But I want to share my experience. I got a couple people I knew jobs, and it didn't pan out good. And I stopped getting people jobs. So, however, I won't say all, because there were a couple people I didn't grow up with, but then I got to know, and I kind of, recommended that they would get the job. And a few of them, one or two of them, took it, and they fucking blew it out of the water. They did a great job, doing great. So I won't say I'll never give someone a job, but I'd have to know them and see them work and have a level. If not, I don't say I wouldn't give them a job, but they would have to start at the bottom, and they would have to show me that they show up, just like I had to do and everyone else, because it's damaging when you get let down. It ruins your name, and it takes someone else's spot that deserves it. Hell, $5 super chat. This is to my man Sam for having a real channel and the real ones in here. Well, love to you, Hal, man. Thank you, brother, for that gracious super chat. Praying for you this week for the Amazon interview. You can do it. And again, even if you don't do it, every step towards securing a job and going on these interviews is going to build experience. It's going to keep your sanity because you're in a rhythm of life. When you get out of the rhythm of life and you have all this idle time, that causes people to go insane, because too much social media will make you go insane. And our phones are addictive, and I love our phones. I love technology, and I'm not against it, because I'd rather us have phones and have technology than all be sitting around a campfire drinking, roasting, talking about nothing. Okay. So, but you got to be mindful. Just, watch the content. Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Pluto. Thank you, Coconuts. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate that. Very kind of you. Gracious of you. Thank you. So like I say, too, show up, right? Okay, so guys, look, if I don't show up, nothing happens. If you don't show up, nothing happens. That's another thing. Look, you keep your sanity even if you're feeling bad. I tell you, just as long as it's not an emergency, show up because you'll feel better mentally after you showed up. There is more stress that you put on your emotions, your mind, and that manifests to your body when you don't show up and you're absent. You know the example. Let's take school. I missed a lot of days of school. Okay, and so when you don't show up, you feel bad, and it has a negative effect on your mental, emotional health. Okay, and when you don't show up to your job, at the end of the day, you feel bad. There's exceptions, of course. There's real bad sicknesses, but we're talking about the average. Showing up, even if you're having a rough day, even if you feel on the brink, as long as you're not in an emergency mode, showing up helps stabilize your sanity because it reassures you that you're in this rhythm of life and it gives you something productive to do. You know, for a while when I was doing DoorDash, it was to develop another side hustle. And what I really liked about it too was it kept my time productive. Now I fill my time with a little bit more YouTube, going live consistently. I always went live, but now I got certain time windows that are dedicated for YouTube. I do more still videos in a shot on my off hours. But even now, there's time to time, like I don't want to DoorDash anymore because I don't want to put more miles on my car than I need to. But I think about, man, if I got a little extra time here, I want to do something. I don't want to just sit idle. And sometimes I have a desire to DoorDash. It just doesn't make sense right now. So, you know, it goes back to time management because I think if you try to outthink depression, you become insane. I think if you try to outthink a breakup, you become insane. I remember I went through the famous Asian breakup, okay? Beautiful Asian MILF I dated, man. Whew. Always wanted a happy ending, man. And I tell you, I've been blessed. Okay, I've been blessed. And I was like, man, I'm at the peak here. And, it went sour. And I never really, I've cried over a woman a couple times in my life, but I never really felt like emotionally damaged. But I felt emotionally broken at this one time. Why? Because I had a lot of stress points going on in my life. See, too much stress makes you go insane. Now, I know all the psychopaths say, yeah, that's why I quit my job. Yeah, that's why you're more mentally insane than ever because you got nothing to do and you're fucking sitting around bullshitting. But when you have too much stress, if not managed well, it could be very damaging. So what was the stress I was going through? Well, number one, I was putting a lot of stress on myself to lose weight because I was obese. I was trying to get my life back in order. And again, get your health in order before you hit 40. When you get into your 30s, guys, time to cut out some of that fast food, start to walk, work out, do what you need to do. Because what I can tell you is, as you get older, it gets harder to maintain your weight because your metabolism goes slower and you don't have as much energy to burn it off. And it's very tough. So I was going through a lot of stress, okay, trying to lose weight. I was going through a lot of stress at work because I was trying to advance my career. I was working hard. I was working a lot. My dog was towards the end of her life. She wasn't dead yet, but I kind of saw it coming. And it was just, it was crushing to me. It's like, for me, it was like losing a child. And just that whole anticipation was like, when you watch someone deteriorate, whether it's a pet or whether it's a relative or whatever, it fucks with your mind, man. When you watch someone decline physically and mentally in front of you, it's horrible, man. And I'll tell you, like, after my mom passes, that'll be it. I mean, I won't attach to anything. I don't think you ever want to see that, man. For me, it was a disaster. So, that, and then you go through a breakup, and then, you're going through all these things at once, and I was trying to throw everything out. Like I say, when you are trying to downsize, you don't realize how hard it is to throw stuff out. I got a lot of people that, well, not a lot, most of my viewers are younger and middle age. But let's say some of my viewers, like 10% of them are above 50. If they haven't downsized yet, they're living in a delusionary state. Because most people, once you get above 50, whatever you got, you keep them, okay? Or you're going to get a storage unit. And I'm not going to say you should even get intense at that point. Because I don't know, man. It's like, you don't realize, guys and girls, the energy it takes to downsize, the emotional stamina. It'll go and fucking break you mentally. So downsize as young as possible. I am not saying live in a car, live out of one bag. I'm going to add something eventually here. I'm just saying whatever you want your life to look at, whatever you want your life to look like at 65, 75, have that shit done by 55. Because what I can tell you is once you hit 55 and older, you ain't going to have the energy, the strength, or the stamina. And it's going to be a disaster. Because, guys, usually for the average person, once you get into your 50s, that's when a lot of your family starts to die. You know, your parents, your people that, you know, sometimes you've lost a couple friends by then. And your career is winding down. And it's like, you know, your kids are empty nesters. You're going through all this stress in your 50s. You don't realize. And it's going to be tough. So I was going through all the stress. I was downsizing, losing weight, working, going through a breakup. And it was like all at once, man. And I'm just like, oh my God. You know, I guess you could say it's like a midlife crisis. You know, all things hit at once. And I didn't do anything irrationally, okay? I didn't sell my house out of desperation because I put it up there for a fair market price and I waited. I wasn't desperate. I didn't go and just throw everything in a dumpster. You know, it took a couple months to clean out my house, okay? So, but once I was there, I was there. I didn't lose 200 pounds in 20 days. It took me 3 years, okay? Another 3 years to keep it off, okay? So I didn't do anything like irrational, but I still felt the pain of stress. And what I can tell you here, I want you to hear this one. I hope you're listening. I hope everybody with a house listens to this. If you do another renovation, you're going to be insane. A renovation, painting, spackling, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, tiles, they destroy your mental health. The stress they put on your life, they break your routine. You're not going to be in the gym as much. You're not going to be sleeping as much. You're going to have a main job and you got your renovation. And now you wish death on your spouse because the sink won't fit in the cutout. If you have a renovation, you ain't keeping your sanity. I tell you, I lost a piece of my soul on a kitchen renovation. And now, guys, I'm finally at the point where I'm ready to add something. And I'm looking by this summer to have something different here. And it's so hard to me now. The stress I face now is where do I go from here? Because I really don't want a house because I know what it brings. And I'm not scared anymore financially because I think I've done a decent job. I've maintained a job, picked up a side hustle. I could find something below my means. And even if I lose my job, I got side hustles and I could pick up another job. So I'm not scared anymore that I'm not going to be able to get to Florida. And so I'm at Florida. I believe that I'm okay now, that I could get a house and be okay financially. But I don't know emotionally if I want that, okay? And then, so then I go to the opposite thing, okay? As I talk this out, as I try to keep my sanity. I said, well, all right, well, I'll get an RV. Okay, and then I go down that road. Well, when you talk about an RV, don't put the cart before the horse. What does that mean? Don't buy the RV until you planned out where you're going to park it and you've calculated that cost. And what you're going to find in many instances, you'd probably be better off renting an apartment, Airbnb, or just buying a place because between campground fees, fuel, and gas, it's a disaster. Now, the only thing that I would say is worth it is the 1,000 Trails, whether you get the camping pass or membership. But the negative with that is those campgrounds are not that nice. They're not that bad, but they're not that nice. They're not always in the best locations. And, you know, it's like you're doing all this and then you're going to live in a campground or a trailer park forever. And, you know, you say to yourself, I don't know, you know, so it has a give and a take, you know. And then I said, all right, well, let's just say I get the 1,000 Trails. I figure out I don't put the cart before the horse. I figure out where I'd park an RV. So I said, okay, well, what type of RV? And I said, well, the cheapest, most simplest one, it makes sense, is a travel trailer. It doesn't have a motor. I still keep a regular car to DoorDash. The negative is most cars, I don't want to drive a pickup. Most cars, I'm going to have to put a tow hitch on and a brake controller. A tow hitch and a brake controller. By the law, in most areas, you need a brake controller. And Do I really want a bigger car to tow something? And then do I really want to move every 2-3 weeks to another campground and just repeat that for the next, 10, 20 years? Because if I don't see myself doing that for at least 10 years, why go into that algorithm, right? Just keep saving your money and go into a house algorithm, right? So I got to think ahead. That's what I'm trying to think. So then it's all right, well, fuck towing something. Just get a Class B and hit campgrounds once in a while. Class Bs are talking about 100 grand about, Um, and I don't know if I could see myself driving that every day. Can never DoorDash with it. A little bit more complicated with maintenance. You say, all right, well, get a Class C. Get one for 50 grand. Guys, I feel like a grandpa driving a Class C. There's no sunroof. I'm not going to be listening to Sade. It's not my style. And Class A is like, guys, that's a disaster. That's a bus. And so it's like, well, all the RV options, after you play them out in your head, it's not that nice to think about just being in the spot and someone else being next to you and then just thinking about the next move. So then I said, all right, well, buy a piece of land. I saw a piece of land today with RV hookups or whatever. Just put it there. They're not in the best communities. And if you buy in a good community, you're in an HOA. And then I said to myself, do I want to be back in an HOA? I'm caught in this algorithm where it's like, fuck. I mean, I got it good now, but I got it good now because I'm young enough, I'm healthy enough. But if something goes wrong, I'm in a high-risk situation. If my health takes a turn, or if I have to get off the road, I would like to be already have something backed up. But I don't want to make that irrational. So, this is the thing that you play out when you live in a vehicle, when you don't have a home to go home to. Now, if you got an RV to go home to, once you get it all figured out, you're never, that's your home. When you're in a car, you're a little bit in limbo. But your flexibility helps you relieve some of the stress. Pluto, Sammy, do what makes you happy, brother. Well, I hear you. Thank you. You are a wise soul. You will always pick what's good. Well, thank you, brother, for that vote of confidence. It's tough, man. I haven't always made the right decision. I mean, I made some good decisions. I made some wrong ones. I don't want to do just what's going to make, well, what will make me happy is buying something. Well, I don't even know if I want to say buying something. What will make me happy is adding comfort without overcomplicating my life, living below my means, but keeping some flexibility. Now, does that exist? Well, yeah, that's like basically saying, does your dream girl exist? Yeah, if you buy her as a robot on Amazon and get her shipped to your house. So it exists, but it's not real. So, life is a little bit of a dookie stain, so it's like I'm trying to figure out, how do I wipe my ass, okay, without getting dookie stain on my basketball shorts? So, will life ever make me happy? That's a good question right there, Pluto. Well, one is I want to say I'm thankful. Why? Because I know so many other people that got it worse, so I have gratitude. Number two is I still like to say that even when everything's going good, there's still a level of sadness in this earth. That's okay. Accept it. I still, with gratitude and with a healthy routine, I keep my sanity because that keeps me busy. Now, it is hard for me at night here, going to these different locations to park and navigating the public. I empathize with a lot of people that got off the road because they need more privacy. I empathize that. That's a level of sanity. We all pay a price for it, though, right? The adventure of the road makes you come alive because there's adrenaline in surviving. However, when you're always in survival mode, there's never rest, and that could that could put too much stress on your mind. We're trying to find balance, and balance is very tough to find. Because again, to get traction in life, to make progress, you almost have to get extreme. But to sustain it, you almost have to pull back and balance. And how to downshift and upshift just right is like, how do you make them squirt? It's just right. You gotta jiggle it. So, look, guys, there's not an exact science, So, let's take hydration break, go back live comments. Thank you again, Coconuts, for coming in. Hal on the super chat, thank you, brother. And Pluto, thank you for the generous super chat as well. And also for the positive comments for Hal and the team. Keep pushing forward, guys. One day at a time. That's definitely a sanity session right there. If you could take life one day at a time, you're doing okay. Because it definitely is hard not to look back on mistakes and not to look forward in stress. But look, guys, before I got to Florida, I had to get here, else I thought the gates of heaven were going to close. Thank God I made here. So I'm telling you guys right now, I'm telling Mark in fucking upstate New York, tracing out utility lines, you better figure out a job transfer or something, because he's 46. Ain't no way in hell he's making it to 66. So I don't know who's still left up north. I'm telling you right now, coconuts, everyone up there, guys. Life's too, you do not want to waste your life, okay, in the winter. Because to me, just my opinion, it's going to destroy your sanity. She said, I know. What do? You got to take it one step at a time. Don't buy a house in Florida till you sell your house. The first thing people say is, I'm going to buy a house, I'm going to buy an RV. Because they want to get somewhere before they're putting the cart before the horse. No. Sell first. Downsize first. Get liquid. Get flexible. You don't need 2 mortgages. That's more stress. That's less sanity. Okay? You don't need an RV and you're not on the road. That's more stress, less sanity. You need less stuff. Then you need to incrementally add. Does that mean you will be always happy? No. Life is never always happy. But I have peace at night because I got more options and I took my time. Do things in order. I did things in order. Okay, you get a little bit lucky along the way and you escape some tragedies. But what I could tell you is sanity is doing things in order. There's a scripture that says God is a God of order, not of disorder. Okay, and so I had some religious psychopaths that took that a little bit too out of context. So I always tell you to taper religion with wisdom. It just, to me, that scripture basically means, look, there's a level of wisdom, of guidance in doing things in order. It doesn't mean you have to be so rigid you can't change the order. But you should have some structure, some aim. You know, how many psychopaths own a house and tried to put together furniture? You rent a house, you try to put together furniture. And it had A, B, C, D, do steps 1 through 10. And you just opened up the box, you dumped all the equipment, you looked at the box, and you tried to put together that furniture based on the box picture. I did that. And what happens? You fail, you lose your sanity because you didn't go in order. Okay, you got to take it one step at a time. However, what I tell you is get out of any house that you need furniture, because furniture means renovation. And renovation and furniture assembly means you're going to lose your sanity. Why? It's meaningless stress, not happiness. In my opinion, my experience. Take a hydration break. Thank you again, Hal. Thank you, Pluto. Thank you, Coconuts. Love to you out there, guys. And girls, shout out to ESP if she's lurking in the background. Coconuts looking at the Bitcoin after hour market. Look, when you've been let down or hurt by someone, maybe I hurt you. Okay, maybe someone else hurt you. You feel like you're losing your sanity. Okay, because you just want peace. And I understand that. And what I'm trying to tell you is, ESP, you know I love you. ESP, I'm trying to tell you that NV200 is a good looking unit. I saw a couple down here in Florida these past couple of weeks that they're set up to be campers, and it's a good looking unit. Okay, definitely stealth, nice looking. I saw a guy at the laundromat today. He had a tinted out one. Very nice, not gonna lie. But I probably won't go that route. Not because I don't think it's nice, because it's like no man's land. It's like, and not nomad's land, like no man's land. Meaning that, like, I can't stand up. It doesn't have a shower, it doesn't have a bathroom. I still have to find somewhere to park it. Right now, my biggest problem is parking. Okay. Because I could stealth park, but, you know, to me, it's just, I fully can't shut down. I'm still a little bit in survival mode. I could go to campgrounds, but then I'm like basically paying for a campground, but I'm not getting the benefits. I don't have an RV where I have the full hookups and I'm in this house. Okay, I'm in a car. It's like, why am I paying for a campground if I'm really not using anything here? So it's like the NV200, like, it just puts me again in like no man's land. Yeah, I could still DoorDash, but I don't have a house. I still have to figure out where to park. And so now I'm back in the Airbnb watching Inspirational Nomad in Florida. It's a good looking unit. And I like it. If you have somewhere to park it, it's a go. ESP, what do you think about that? Like, you know what I mean? Do you struggle in Alaska finding something? See, Alaska, you may have more ways to park it. I know, like out west and stuff, you got more ways to park, but not in a populated area, man. Pluto, I think my next goal is to master my thought pattern about life. Life is not living 80 years in a house like a caged animal working 9 to 5. Your videos is a foundation that will make life exciting. It will, but I also know that I'm not being irresponsible in my message, because at the core of my videos, for those who want the core message, is self-care, show up, secure an income, do things in order, and then if you want to live this wild, adventurous life to enhance your life, a season of life, fine. But if you become wore out on the road, you have all the skill sets, you have done all the right things in order, well, you'll have the financial, the emotional, and the self-care patterns to get right back into a conforming life without missing a beat. So I prepare people not by showing you a Swiss Army knife and free boondocking. I prepare you by showing and telling you about self-care, about time management, about showing up to your job, about mitigating risk, healthy relationships. This will transcend the RV or the nomad life, because, everything, it comes down to that. And I can sleep at peace at night knowing that that's what I practice, that's what I preach. I'm not perfect. I don't have the perfect message. No one does. But a lot of people pick apart that message. Not you, Pluto. You're very good. But I feel like I get a little bit pissed when I see someone, they're sitting on their couch with their cat, and they're telling me like, yeah, I'm about to hit the road. I love the road, throw everything out. And I'm saying to myself, you sitting on your couch with your cat, you got no idea what this road's like, So, but I teach their own. ESP. In the winter, it is hard to find parking because of the snow plows. I remember that in New Jersey. What a disaster. On more than occasion, I have stealth parked at a local business that has a fleet of vans. Well, that makes sense. Similar to mine. Not exactly legal. I understand it's a gray area there. But it allowed me to sleep all night without moving for plows. I can understand that. See, that's the thing, guys. Look, when you're stealthing, there's something in your mind that you're not totally at peace because you're not totally legit. It's like, and again, if you go to a campground, you're legit, but you're totally not getting all the benefits of the pay for the campground because you really don't have an RV. Yeah, you can run an extension cord to your car, which I've done. I did videos about, but you're still in a car, So, I mean, I look at the Prius, I look at the RAV4 Prime, and I say that's an option. The only reason I pause is because I still don't solve parking. Now, where I pick that up is if I get a plug-in hybrid, I could do charging stations. Now I've solved temperature control and parking, but here's the negative. There's not that many charging stations in that many locations, in the areas I want to be. And some of them even have time restrictions, maximum 3-hour charging. So, it's very tough, guys. I'm trying to thread a needle, man. ESP, the winter, that's not an issue. Oh, this winter, that's not an issue. Yeah, you're in an Airbnb. Yeah, I don't know. ESP, what's your thoughts? Do you think, ESP lives in Alaska. She lived in her NV200, I think, now for about a year or so. And this winter, she decided to get an Airbnb because it's very extreme cold in the winter. So, ESP, what's your thoughts? Like, I know in the spring and in the summer, in the spring and the fall, I know everyone wants to camp because those are moderate temperatures. But what do you think, what do you think for the next, I would say for the next 2 to 5 years? Do you see yourself going back in the NV200 and living as a nomad for the next 2 to 5 years? Or have you been spoiled by, running water, toilet bowl that's just yours? What do you think? I'm very interested because, guys, again, if I was a senior, I would be looking for an exit strategy. Even if I don't pull the ripcord, I want to have one in place. Again, I think Gail did the right thing, securing, subsidized housing. Now, again, if it was me and I had to get subsidized housing or some type of housing, I would get it in a warm state. Now, I understand for my mothers out there, you want to live close to your children, but I don't know. I can only speak from my perspective. For me, if you got to get housing, get it now. But I was in some bad neighborhoods in Florida, guys, so you got to be careful. I'm not saying Florida's got all good neighborhoods, so It's a tough call, Yeah, I'm interested what ESP is going to say about, what does she see her next 2 to 5 years? Pluto, Hal, Coconuts, any member in the live chat. Where do you see your next 2 to 5 years? See, sanity is trying to figure out your life, but then you get overwhelmed because you don't know what you want to do. Indecision brings stress, and then that brings insanity because you don't know what to do. And that's why some people want you to tell them what to do, because it's like if it goes wrong, they can blame you. If someone asks you, what do you think I should do? Someone asked me today, do you think I should buy Bitcoin? And I said, keep a job. And I stuttered I didn't know what to say. I just said, look, keep a job. I said, but ultimately it's your decision, because everything in life is risk. ESP says, I do, she put all caps, I do like having a bathroom. You spoil, laughing. But I plan to move back into the van after April 15th. That's when street parking restrictions change back to summer rules. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It's going to be tough. Look, guys, sleeping in your vehicle is actually very cozy, especially MV200. So I can understand why you miss sleeping there. The challenging thing is the legal parking. And then the other challenging thing is extreme temperature. Look, when you're in a moderate temperature, when you have a place to park, and you're cozy, it's awesome to sleep in your vehicle. To me, it's great, man. Like I looked at one home base, I can't even visualize myself sleeping in like a master bedroom, even if it's small. Like I almost need to be in an RV or car because I need to be cuddled up. Okay. And I'm a bigger guy, I'm about, 6 feet, I'm about 240 or whatever. So, it's like, I don't know, I don't know. I still trying to figure it out, but I try to take it one day at a time. I try to, what am I trying to accomplish? Look, I want to be financially independent, and, that obviously means still working. So that means I got to keep the DoorDash option open. I got to keep all my options open. But do I? Could I get an RV, and then if I can't DoorDash, and if I got laid off, try to get another main job, just don't DoorDash? I mean, I could do that. I don't know, but I don't try to make decisions at night. Why? Because your brain is tired, your body's tired. And again, I go back to how do you keep your sanity? Healthy sleep cycle. The average adult needs 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night. If you get less than 4, you're going to hurt your mental health. If you get more than 9, you're going to hurt your mental health. Super chat, $5 super chat. Mr. All Too Well. Thanks for the information and the motivation. Thank you. Your videos do help, all caps. Damn it, Mr. All Too Well. I appreciate that, man. Gratitude to you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you, man. Thank you, Mr. All Well. Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Pluto. Thank you, ESP. Thank you, Coconuts. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you, man. Shout out to Mr. I would just say Mr. All. ESP. Oh, no. Pluto. I got to go in order. Pluto. Brother, I just see one day at a time. Yeah, one day at a time, guys. That's what, at the end of the day, that's what I tell myself. This simple thing, thanks to you, allows me to think about the past. Yeah, do not think about the past or anything but one day at a time. That's true, guys. Look, the pain of losing a loved one, the pain of losing a pet, the pain of a breakup, the pain of losing money, it can cause you to go insane. So I'm not saying forget it completely, because we have to learn from life, but we have to be able to turn it off and just say, I got to go forward. It's very hard, but you got to remember it, and you can do it, ESP. The governor did his state of address a few days ago. He wants to give all Alaskans $5,000 and land grants. Oh, really? He wants to dip into the petroleum fund. Then she goes, for pandemic relief. Yeah, we're in another dimension, I don't know. I mean, at this point, that's all going to weed itself out, I guess. At this point, I'm kind of hopeful that at least hopefully one way or another we get to the summer and we've gotten to a level of herd immunity, whether people have got the virus and they've recovered and they're immune, or people get the vaccine and they're immune and then you stop the spread. I know a lot of people, guys, they're signing up for this vaccine. A lot of people. They're on waiting lists, and people are getting it. I see them in Publix down here in Florida getting it all the time. So it's out there, guys. People are getting the vaccine. So one way or another, hopefully it's going to stop. So That's what we got to hope for, because it's not healthy to have a lot of stuff still shut down mentally. Our state legislation has to approve it, make it reality. Yeah, that's the hard part with all these politicians that promise stuff. You got to get the consensus, the political machine to agree. So we'll see what happens. Well, let me ask you this, ESP. Obviously, the 5,000 is going to, it make anyone's day better. But what would it really change? Obviously, again, I hope everyone gets it. I don't know about the land grant, what that would do. But, just as you personally, ESP, you get the 5,000, what do? Do you put it in savings and just keep living in the van? Or do you put that towards a house fund? Do you put that towards an RV fund? Or do you make it rain in a strip club? What do you do with that $5,000? I'm interested. What does anyone do with an extra $5,000? Any member in a members only chat or whoever, if you get $5,000 today, what does that help you do? That's an interesting question. And again, it's obviously any money is a blessing. It'll help you keep your sanity. That's why you have your savings account separate from your brokerage account. That's why you have your savings account separate from your Robinhood account. Because if you lose everything in a risk, knowing that you still have a savings, knowing that you still have a job, you'll never go insane. Now, you may get upset, but you'll at least be able to hold it together. And that's what I recommend. Yeah. So I don't know, guys and girls. Let's take a hydration break. Hal, hang in there, brother. We love you, Hal. Thank you again. Pluto, love you. Coconuts, love you. ESP, Mr. All. ESP is laughing. Good. Laughter is good for the soul. Help you keep your sanity. No strip clubs. Yeah, you never know about you Alaskans. It will, Bob Wells, I think he used to be a stripper. It will go in the emergency fund. Okay. Gas money to drive to the lower 48. You get the hell out of Alaska. That's, I'll tell you. But you're probably going to, ESP, you're going to be in Alaska till next winter, right? Because ESP, if you go back in your van April 15th, that spring, I know spring probably don't come in Alaska until like June, but I don't think you're going to go in the lower 48 states. You're not going to go south in April, right? What are you going to wait till next November or something? Hal, I'm here, player. Damn, Hal, man, you hold it down, man. I appreciate you, man. You're a positive person. You got great people skills. You're going to do great in life, man. Love you, man. I know it's not easy. I know as you get older, guys, you get bitter. As you get older, you get bitter. So hang in there, because I know, guys, it's not easy to it's very easy to become a grumpy old person. I feel myself. I want to get grumpy as motherfucker. So hang in there, man. Love to your mother. Again, happy birthday to her, 71. Thank God you still got her. Shout out to all my people who lost their parent or their loved one. I pray for you. I understand it. All we can do is one day at a time, guys. Got to go forward. Even if you said some bad things, we got to go forward. Hal, taking in this $1 million worth of free game. Well, I appreciate that, man. You've been very gracious to me. Very positive and supportive. You accept me. That's the main thing. Look, guys, I know I'm not perfect. I feel bad sometimes. Some nights on my live feed house, probably a little bit too rough. But it's a tough thing, guys. Look, it's not easy to go live every day and be perfect. And I don't want to be phony. I don't want to be like a bullshit artist. I mean, it's not my style, I could do that, but to me, then this wouldn't be why I wanted to do YouTube. I wanted to do YouTube to make side money, but I wanted to do it so I could be myself and make it. Because if I just wanted to pick up another job, guys, I'll pick up another job. But to me, I'm a worker. I worked all my life. I'm not, that's not, to me, like, I'm not scared of that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. But I know when you're like as bold as I am, and I'm not saying I'm always right, you're going to have some nights that, some people get hurt. And it's the same, I think about it, but what can I do? It's that's the tough part mentally about being a YouTuber. If you care. Look, if you're a complete psychopath, guys, it's just fucking balls to the walls every night. You're throwing shit, you're hollering, so... look, guys, I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to be who you want me to be either. That's the balance, ESP, I will enjoy a little Alaskan summer. Yeah, I know you will. See, you're going to be there for another year, but you love Alaska. Then either drive or take a ferry in late summer, early fall. When you take a ferry, you're going to put your van on a ferry. And where are you going to go? You're going to go to San Diego? Shout out to South California, my man, Big Plan Dan. He ran a lesbian porn site, made millions of dollars, retired very wealthy, but he's a member. Yeah, he did it. But here's the downside. My man Big Plan Danny's got downsides. And he's getting up there in age. He's got the money. He's a very intelligent guy. You should read some of this guy's comments. He's very intelligent. But energy, man, I don't know. It's very hard to downsize. You guys don't realize, man. You guys don't realize. You think money is just going to solve it. And money's a big part of it. I don't lie about that. But you got to have some energy too, man, because it's not easy mentally to throw some stuff out, man. Break you mentally. All right, so ESP's go take a ferry. I can't take a ferry. Why? Because I got to wait for a bunch. It's like going on a bus on the ocean. I got to wait for a bunch of other people. I got to load my... The whole reason I like a car versus a boat is I want to hit the open road. I want to be in control. When do we stop? When do we go? And that's why I can never live in Alaska. I can never live in a Hawaii. You say, yeah, why don't you live in Hawaii? Guys, I don't want to be on an island. I don't even want to go to Key West. I want multiple avenues, multiple roads out of Dodge, just in case. That's how I like it. ESP, yep, van on the ferry from Whittier, Alaska. I got no idea what the fuck that is. And Bellarmine, Washington? What a shithole. That's right, outside of Seattle. Oh, what a disaster up there, man. I tell you, don't even sound sexy, okay? Like, guys, I say Boca Raton. I say Palm Beach. You say, oh, my God, what is that? I say, what do I say? Wipe your ass, Alaska. Bitch, get out my way, Washington. It just sounds like a disaster. Yeah, I ain't feeling that. Nah, I can't. I love you, I respect you. I hope you get to 5,000. But I tell you right now, you can grant me a piece of land for free in Alaska, and you could give me 5,000. I tell you, keep it. I told you guys last night, you can give me $5 million a year to work in New Jersey, but if I can never leave New Jersey ever again, guys, I'll as long as I can, work down here and do whatever, I'm not going back up there. Why? Guys, I don't waste my life. Hell no. Yeah, Hal's laughing good. Yeah, it's a disaster. All right, guys, I got to manage my time. Well, I got to keep my sanity. I got to take a shower. I got to get a safe place to park. I got to get through today. I got to wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. Why? It's Sunday. Why are you waking up at 5 a.m.? Healthy sleep cycle, healthy routine. Why? Hey, guys, I'm not going to take advice from a psychopath that's got 4 cats, 5 dogs, and they can't even flush a toilet bowl. Hate to say it. Now, let's stay positive, guys. I love you.